Good morning, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you on Friday morning for your Carta e-rig dab of the day. And I have some very good news. Last night I had an extensive conversation with Randall. I've been communicating with Christina at Focus, and they're developing quite a bit of new glass, affordably priced, and some other cool things for the Carta, for maintenance of the Carta and things like that. So I think they're really on top of things. They're very sensitive to customers, and I'm very pleased with the choice I've made, being behind the brand because I like it so much. And those of you who bought it and who have had issues, I see that you've been handled properly and quickly. So have I. And that's a big part of this. Because when you do medication like we do, who needs extra stress, right? So, a couple things. As you know, been a very busy week for Senior Stoner. Fleet Week, catching fish, cool, nice things. One step at a time, really slow. And I have a challenge coming up, the weekend challenge. I talk about it all the time. It's a little bit unusual, this weekend challenge. I've got VIP tickets to the Jones Beach Air Show, which I've been to probably 10 times. I love it. Took my son to it every time it was there. And Mrs. Stoner and I got rained out last year. So we got our tickets for the VIP chalet for tomorrow. The challenge is, with my body, we have to get up at like 5:30 and leave at 6. My body doesn't perform at those hours. I'm thinking of getting up at 4 or 4:30, giving myself a little bit more time. My sister used to do that and called it fooling her stomach. But that's what's ahead of me. So I have a lot of nice things that I could potentially do this weekend. I just don't want to screw it up. When I got out of bed this morning, I couldn't even stand. I said to Mrs. Stoner, frankly, I said, if it's like this, I can't go. And that was musculoskeletal. So what has to happen, I think, is this self-triage thing I talk about has to be done all the time. You really have to self-triage yourself, and just like they would take the broken neck against the broken hand into the hospital first, you've got to look at what the drivers are to your pain. I've isolated the drivers of my pain, and I try to handle each one individually because you can't use a blanket approach for pain. For example, if you have a pain in your neck, TMJ, a bad Achilles heel, a bad knee, abdominal issues, spinal issues up and down, and left and side sacroiliac issues, you can't really put a blanket on all that. So the best way to approach it is to triage yourself, to make sure you know what the crucial things are that will stop you cold. For example, can you push through a bad knee? Can you push through the Achilles tendon? Can you push through the abdominal? Can you push through the neck? Can you push through the sacroiliac? Can you push through the spinal? Can you push through the TMJ? All the different things you have to push through should be identified individually, characterized individually, and you make a decision about them individually and strike them off your list that you dealt with it. Don't feel like you have to handle the whole world in one bite. This is the story of eating the great white shark, one little bite at a time. Okay? So we got to continue this slow approach to everything. It's working, even though it might not feel like it's working. It is working. Today we're going to have some diamonds in sauce. We're going to do a hot load on our Carta e-rig at the first temperature level. We all know I like the low temps. Here we go. Cheers. Dropping it in, swirling it around. And now we're going to put the cap on and have our first dab of the day. Good morning, everybody. Cheers. Very light so far. Let it cook a little more. There's that puff we like. is we're going to just charge the batteries up. If we find the batteries aren't charging up good after a long time, pop those puppies out and replace them. It's a really nice feature in the Carta. I'm loving the device. I'm really enjoying the customer support. Sounds like they're a family operation, possible, or close friends. And let's just stay focused on keeping the pain down. Okay? Use whatever tools you have. Keep that pain down. This is the Real Senior Stoner doing as much as I can. Self-triaging. Keep the pain down. Cheers.